I'm just gonna say this: no wheeling and dealing has to be involved because one jointed move can get the Eagles at 60 million already. And I think possibly, and I think it's going to happen. We're going to talk about it. This could be a $70 million free agency or having that much money at least at that moment in free agency. And I'm not even kidding. We're going to talk about that move. We're going to talk about Vic Fangio, a former player that played for Vic Fangio that just got cut and could play for the Eagles as a nice depth piece. And we're going to be talking about the assistant coaching staff for the Eagles on defense. It looks like they are here to stay for one more year. We have a lot to discuss, so let's get straight into it all.
A killer buried, but not dead.
Darren, we better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you're having a fantastic day today. This video is sponsored by BetUS, so definitely go check them out if you guys have not. So we have the Combine next week. We have so much going on, and all we're really thinking about right now is free agency, how much are the Eagles going to have, and there are some moves here that are cap changing. This is going to be a cap massacre for Howie Roseman. This is going to be another great offseason. I smell it from a mile away. It's like somebody opening their window when they're making breakfast and the neighbor smells the bacon and the eggs. I mean, you just smell it. You just know it's coming. Okay. And let me tell you, the first thing we have to get into is Slay and Bradberry. Okay. Now, obviously, Slay has said, hey, I want to play for the Eagles for another year, okay? A 13th year, I think it's what it is. And it's a voided year, okay, at this point. With technically still on contract, it's a void year where they could just release him, whatever the case may be with that. Do you give someone else another chance? Do you re-sign Isaiah Rodgers? Does Keely Ringo get a shot? Does a hungry guy get a shot? Another youth hungry player step right in. That's what I'm kind of looking for. If Slay is not going to be here. Okay, and Bradberry, obviously, we didn't know until late after the Super Bowl that he pretty much had an Achilles injury and, was out the whole entire year and is due $2.1 million next season. Still on a pretty hefty contract as of right now. But if you guys remember, okay, the Eagles are going to be starting with $43 million under the cap, okay? 43 million flat out, okay? Because obviously the cap went up for all teams. Each team is getting 25 million per team, okay? So 45 million to start. Now, when it comes to the news of Bradberry and Slay, okay, we know what happened to them. We know what's going on with both of these players as of right now. Now, according to the recent reports, cutting both of these players potentially could save up $15 million in cap space for the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, Bradberry is obviously giving us more money because he has the larger cap hit. Apparently, I haven't looked at the contracts too close, but that's what it looks like from the news that we are getting right now. $45 million. You cut Slay, you cut Bradberry. $15 million, $60 million in cap space. One jointed move gets you 60. Okay, that's without even restructures, messing with contracts, doing all this other stuff, extending and giving more bonus money to Jalen Hurts up front and messing with that contract. I mean, there's so much that they could do. It's almost dangerous. Like, give Howie some draft picks, give Howie some cap space. And let me tell you, I'm not saying spend all of it and be done with it, but let me tell you something. You could retain a lot with money like this, and you could make a huge splash easily with money like this. Let me tell you. And I think the Eagles are going to go out and retain. And I think they're going to retain and restructure and do all this wheeling and dealing, and they're going to make that one move. That's going to be not even a luxury on the defense, a game changer on the defense. It's luxury at this point. Do we need it? No, because even if they don't make a big move on the defensive line or something like that, I'm good with what we have. But this move in general will give you a $15 million. It will free up cap space, $15 million, $60 million going in the free agency. I mean, that would be amazing. And I think, honestly, there's probably a lot of Eagle fans that are saying, Slay, like, I think we need to move on. I think we need to put a younger guy in there. Quignon is ready to be the number one guy. Slade did his part. We appreciate everything he has done. Selfless player. Was one of the best cornerback trades we've ever done, or at least in a lot of years of acquiring cornerbacks, he has been one of the most productive ones and has helped us win a Super Bowl, which is a fantastic thing. Okay, and James Bradberry, obviously, after the 22 Super Bowl loss, got a big contract, didn't really live up to it, and tried to switch positions once they drafted Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, and that really didn't work out either. And then got the Achilles injury, forget about it. Now it's like he has no value. He has no trade value. He has no value, period, at any other position, and he's got way too much competition in front of him at that corner spot. So $15 million, I think that's pretty easy to figure out what you got to do here. Unless they just do Bradberry, then sure, and they want to keep Slade, then they'll gain a little bit less. But I think potentially both of these players could be gone. So we'll see what happens in the meantime. But Jesus, I mean, I can't even look at this with a smile on my face and just say, I mean, the Eagles are going to be dangerous in this offseason program going forward. Okay, so that's that. If you guys haven't checked out the Philly Shakedown podcast merch, definitely go check it out. We have definitely some new stuff that is out as of right now. That will really the Jalen Hurts shirts, the champion shirt, the full polyester shirt is out as of right now. Great fabric, doesn't peel, doesn't fade, nothing. A lot of people have been buying. These take 45 minutes to make. Definitely go check them out if you guys have not. And obviously the Jalen Hurts iconic moment t-shirt as well. Go get your Philly Shakedown merch. It is all there. Link in the description and pinned in the comment section as well. Appreciate everybody that's been ordering. Now, next on our list is a former player that used to play for Vic Fangio. DeMarcus Walker. DeMarcus Walker, 30 years old, okay? Just say he's 30 years old, so we have to keep that in mind here. Okay, Bears are releasing veteran defensive end DeMarcus Walker, okay? I think he had, 16 tackles, 7 sacks in 24 with the Bears, okay? He was an edge rusher. They moved him to DT, and he's pretty much been good. He could pretty much play two positions, kind of what Milton Williams was able to do, all right? Now, played for Vic Fangio in 2019 with the Denver Broncos, but Vic Fangio was the head coach at that time. Okay, you're always just trying to connect the dots of players he might want. I mean, look, we thought Miami players were coming to Philadelphia. At least a couple of them were in free agency or something like that, and not one came to Philadelphia. So, which was actually a really good thing down the road. But look, there are a lot of different options you could do here. I think at the defensive tackle position, most likely you are losing Milton Williams. I'm not saying that you should pay a guy as a rental for a year. If he is cheap, we'll see what happens going down the line if this guy wants to get a ring or something like that, depending what the market is. So this was a very early release. And at 30 years old, off a 7-sack year, let's see what he gets. Let's see if the Eagles actually have interest. Would be a good depth piece for the Eagles for like a year or two, something like that. I still think they need depending what they do in that first round, if they trade that pick for a Myles Garrett or a Crosby or something like that, I still think they should go into this draft and go get a DT in the second, third round. I think it should be edge rusher. And if that trade happens and that 32nd pick is gone, I still think they should use a pick on a DT on an early pick for more depth and obviously, getting a potential starter for this defensive line. If there's an impactful player left, by the time we pick in the second round, I think they should go after both spots. You can't never have enough defensive linemen. So this is another guy, like I said, older guy. How much do you want to put into this? I don't really want to sign 30-year-olds at all, but just saying that he is available. He is out there. He has played under Fangio in the past and potentially could be, maybe a signing down the road. We'll see what happens with DeMarcus Walker going forward, okay? Now, some good news for the Eagles, okay? Very, very good news, okay? Now, we saw the news, obviously, Christian Parker, one guy that we're really worried about, okay, getting a job as a defensive coordinator, and it looks like since this has happened, Brandon Staley was hired as the new defensive coordinator for Kellen Moore, okay? He was highly regarded as going to be with Kellen Moore in New Orleans. And, we saw that Christian Parker got the interview. So safe to say we are safe right now. Okay, Kellen Moore has his staff as of right now, and Christian Parker and the defensive assistants are intact, and we have these guys for another year. Clint Hurt with the defensive line, Bobby King with the linebackers, Christian Parker with the DBs. Okay, you don't think like these relationships are very close, and these guys are producing well under these players. And let me tell you, man, like another year from Christian Parker, another year from some of these guys is great. Christian Parker probably won't last after the 25 season. He'll probably be a defensive coordinator. He'll probably be a defensive coordinator after 25. It wouldn't shock me at this point. But the great news is you're keeping every assistant on your defense intact, ready to go, and oh, so happy we could take a breath of fresh air and breathe it out, because it's great news to hear. And lastly, Nolan Smith, coming out of that Super Bowl, ended up getting a triceps injury, tore his tricep in the first half. Okay. And played with it in the second half. And let me tell you, man, I mean, I didn't even notice anything bad with Nolan Smith. Nolan Smith going into next season to 25, not even the tough player that he is. So let me say, this will be a 13-sack season, 8 to 13 sacks, something like that. It should be double-digit sacks. I mean, Nolan Smith has come a long way, where he didn't get much playing time in 23. The coaching staff was an entire mess of producing young players, obviously. And by the time he was starting to produce, realistically, the team was just falling apart. The whole defense was last in every category. But obviously, under Vic Fangio, Nolan Smith was used, and look what we got out of him, especially in this Super Bowl as well, throughout the playoffs, and obviously post-bye of the regular season, the number one defense all in. So, very excited for Nolan Smith, his future, and let me tell you, to hit on 2 picks in that first round feels so good. And Nolan Smith is a keeper, and he's tough, and let me tell you, it's a fantastic thing to hear. Fantastic thing to see. And I saw that someone said, oh, Nolan Smith got injured in the Super Bowl. I was like, whoa, what? And I kind of freaked out. He will be ready. The report is he will be ready by the 25 season, so we'll be ready for that. But, guys, I want to know what you guys think. Would you guys release Bradberry and Slay to free up $15 million? Do you want Slay to come back for another year? Would you just release Bradberry? You guys let me know. Would you re-sign Isaiah Rodgers? Would you give Keely Ringo a chance? And obviously maybe draft somebody, not early. I don't know if they go down that route too much. And obviously I wouldn't be against them going after going after a cornerback early. And obviously you'd have to, trade up in this draft, and that would kind of ruin your trade for probably Myles Garrett or something like that with that 32nd pick. But, let me know what you guys think about that. The cap space for the Philadelphia Eagles, and DeMarcus Walker is a player as well, because he won't be the only one. There'll be a lot that we're going to be talking about by the time free agency hits, and we'll see what all the rumors are going to be. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day, and definitely hit the like button, because it helps out tremendously, and appreciate all the support. Philly Shakedown merch in the description and the live comment section. Appreciate it so much from everybody. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up, follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace.